And
Well,
they
yeah, look,
were,
and we all make assumptions of things like that, like we do it every day, and we put stigmas on people. But Doug, you already proved that. Like they said, you're a terrible writer, and you are. You're a terrible writer, but you're a terribly amazing writer.
Perfect. That's the good way to look at it.
You're a terribly amazing spokesperson for autism, and you've already proved that. Like your book was around 300th bestseller on Amazon in the States, and if I'm correct, I think your book's being produced for hard copy now and being distributed to actual bookstores, isn't it?
It is Barnes and Noble and a lot of other bookstores around the country, and it's being massively produced in New York City, Los Angeles, Nashville, Miami, and a lot of big cities across the country.
wow, that's amazing, Doug. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's terribly amazing.
Yep.
it's shockingly amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's, and this is just the start. And we hope, this is what we really hope, that this series really inspires people. Now, inspiration and motivation are great, but they're only words if you don't take action. And what we really hope out of every single person that we've had on here, we do inspire people to take action in their life. And we're not saying, oh, do this and you'll become a multimillionaire, or do this and you'll have loads of money coming in. Like that could possibly happen if you take action and create a new online business, or you create something that leads you in that direction. But what we're really about is just look at your life, look at where you're being stopped, and look at what dreams you really want to create, things that you're passionate about. Are you being stopped by your 9-to-5 job? Are you being stopped by what people think of you? Are you being stopped because you had a broken relationship? Are you being stopped because you lost a job? Are you being stopped because of COVID? I'm not dismissing any of those things, saying that they're not relevant and they don't affect us. Of course they affect us. Like, I've come through 4 broken relationships. I have 7 children, 6 grandkids, and there was a time where I wasn't getting on with a lot of them because of my behavior and the anger I was not dealing with from a young kid, like 2-3 years old. I can't even tell you where the anger came from. It's I don't know. Maybe I even had a little bit of maybe I was a little bit autistic or had Asperger's or something. I really don't know, but I know my way of thinking as a young kid, and that was, it was all about me, and I loved my family, and I had great parents, but I blamed other people for everything. And, I went into, a world of, drugs, dealing with people who, were not hesitant about, physically damaging people if that really came to. I've lost friends disappeared, because of the people we were hanging around with. And it was something I just wanted to try and prove something to people, like, oh yeah, I'm big and tough and I got tattoos. Well, I'm not. I'm a pussycat, meow. I was searching for something in myself, and I found it through my faith. I found it through doing Landmark, the forum, and I just really got to see, because sometimes you need something else to show up for you, someone else to be coaching you. Like I said, whether it be your faith, whether it be your support of my Bikers for Christ members, and just people around you who can uplift you and get you to see, hey, we're not blaming you for anything, but look, this is what you've been doing. This is the mayhem that you've left behind you. So now my coaching, the acting, the voiceover, everything's going fine. But what I really love is this Relentless and Unstoppable, and the people that we've had on here and going, wow, I don't know how I would have dealt with that if that was my case. So my story's no worse or, more intense than anyone else's. There's people who've had incredibly intense things happen to them. But it's my story, and it's your story, Doug, and it's your story, Brendan. It's Chantel's story, and it's Kit Dale's story. It's Sam Greco's. It's
Richard Norton.
Richard Norton. It's Mally Moo. All the people we've had on there all have an individual story. Cameron Hood, who's dealt with terrible things that happened to him as a young child, but he's still a fighter, and he's still here now creating. So everybody's story is important to them. And what we're really hoping, and it is working already with this series, we get people contacting us and going, wow, so thank you. I've now gone to seek out someone professionally who may be able to help me where I'm stuck in life, whether it be, depression, mental health, like Matt Runnels, Mel Yu, Troy Coward, and Sam, who all have non-profits for mental health and suicide awareness and prevention, doing their bit in life because they've had to deal with that in their life, the loss of loved ones. And, so it's human beings. We're listening to other people. We try to understand where other people are coming from and not always about us. Then it'll be back and forwards. When you understand someone else, they understand you, and then we support each other. And this is how things get transformed. And I've seen it just alone in Doug. Like, his transformation is really unstoppable. I believe he will be a well-known spokesperson internationally for autism and just general positive creation of how you want your life to go. I believe he'll be a speaker on stage. I believe he'll be an inspirational speaker, a coach and a mentor to not just the autism community, but to many people, because I can see it happening. And same with you, Brendan, you've never given up. Like, you've been relentless and unstoppable, and you haven't allowed, you two guys are different. Doug's out there. He's unstoppable he's not afraid to he'll call producers of films, say, hey, I want to interview you. And, and I know you yourself, Brennan, are quite shy, right?
Yes,
and there's nothing wrong with that. But you two guys support each other. You've got, the crazy guy here, Doug, and we've got shy Brendan, and you both help each other. And I say crazy, and, he knows I'm joking, but he is unstoppable. Like, his energy is incredible. So that helps you, and you help him calm down a bit.
Yeah. Being unstoppable and being so public with my interviews with producers and directors, I've enjoyed every bit of it, especially sharing my stories with the producers of watching the films they produced and all that. But it's also been very pleasurable for me to help Brendan get out of his shy state for the most part. With this program.
And look, that's right, Doug. It's like, you are outgoing. And we're messing around, having a bit of fun here with each other, but you are very outgoing, and you're not afraid to connect up with people. I mean, who's the last two producers you just called recently in the last week to interview?
The producers of Disney's Aladdin and Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
See, that's great, because sometimes a lot of us go, I don't know if I should call them. Mate, you don't do that. You just do it. You're relentless and unstoppable in what you love doing. Now, I do message them in advance, though, before calling. Oh, no, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's a respectful thing to do. So, Brendan, how is it for you? Because you are quite shy. Not now. Like, you're so different from when we first met. But what is it like being shy like that? How does that stop you out in life?
Occasionally I worry about, I'm getting better, but I used to worry about, like, upsetting people or annoying people or, that sort of thing. And I used to be hesitant about things, like going up to people. Sometimes I think that I'm wasting their time, whatever like that. So
wow. That's pretty intense, mate. That would, and again, I
Yeah,
apologise to viewers. Like, I'm getting more in the spotlight here because it's getting darker. But whatever, we're relentless and unstoppable. We just keep going. Soon it'll just be black, and you'll hear my voice. Um, so, Brendan, that's such a powerful thing for you to own and admit and say here that, and it kept you inside the house, correct?
yeah. Some days I got up and I didn't want to go out at all. Felt like it was a bit of a wasted time, and
So
which wasn't probably true, but that's what I was. My
Well,
head in my head, it was telling me that, like, I thought, I wasn't worth anybody's time and all that. It just kept on.
so let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You're kind of afraid that you're not going to please anybody if you go out?
Sort of. Yeah. I just thought I would have been wasting their time or not worth it.
Oh,
yeah,
But
I
I
gotta,
have to. Yeah, I have to
that's a
work
tough
through
one,
that.
mate.
Working through that now. So
I gotta
yeah.
tell you, bud, and I'm just saying this for the record. God loves everyone equally. You're definitely not a waste of time.
No, thanks very much, Doug. Yeah.
And look, Brendan, that feeling you have of being really small, you're worthless. You don't have anything worthwhile to say to anybody. They're not going to be interested in you, which is completely untrue. We know that. But what we're getting at here, and what we're getting at, is the fact that that little machine in your mind is powerful, and it will make you believe that. In all of us,
Yeah.
we all do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And how do you feel now? Like, we did little exercises where you went out and spoke to people in public. How are you now when you go to restaurants, cafes, shopping centres? When you go to speak to people, what's the difference in you now that you're getting more confidence knowing that you are obviously a worthwhile human being,
Well, yeah, I've been getting a bit more confidence in myself, and I've been taking I've been doing I've been doing therapy and all that, like natural therapy. My doctor subscribed a medication as well, but I thought, I don't really want to take something to make me feel better, but that's helped as well to keep it. Need sort of both things, I guess. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, and there's not. Yes, if you do have to take medication, you do. But the stuff that you're doing and the work you're doing, eventually, hopefully, you'll be able to get off that.
Yeah, but the horse therapy and horse
No, go on.
therapy
Sorry.
and things like that have helped the most. And good friends like Doug and yourself, Andy. Yeah, supporting.
Yeah, just to add to that, one thing I've learned with therapy, and I've learned this in my bodybuilding as well, you can't get results right away. Exercise does make the body feel better, and so does horse therapy, but it takes time. The results don't happen right away.
Yeah, well, it's like everything, right? You don't lose weight straight away. Everything, no matter what you tackle in life, it's going to take time. Babies don't just get up and walk. They take time to adapt to the environment. They take time to be nurtured and cared for and, allowed to crawl, roll over, then they finally build the muscles strong enough to stand up and wobble and crash. And then you go to walking, then you go to learning to ride a bicycle and you fall off. But once you remember how to walk, you walk. Once you remember how to ride a bicycle, even if you haven't ridden a bike for 20 years, you'll be able to jump on that bike again. And when accidents may occur or you have some type of hospitalization or rehabilitation because of an accident, and you may be bedridden for a while, and it's difficult to walk again because the muscles shrink. But if there's no severe damage, you get up and you start walking again. And it's like everything. It takes time, and when the muscles go, then we have to work on them again to build them up again, build that strength. It's the same with the creative muscle in the brain. It's putting good habits into our life, and continually keep learning, training, moving forward, and being able to deal with whatever life is throwing at us. And sometimes it's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy. Like I've got a couple of friends in Australia who, 3 or 4 different people who don't know each other, but they're all from the creative world, and they've unfortunately lost, their children. Like one family lost a beautiful young boy, 19. Another family lost their daughter, and another friend of mine, he's the ex-boyfriend of his daughter. Sadly, his daughter, took her life many years ago, and now the ex-boyfriend couldn't deal with it, so he's taken his life. And this is sad. Like when people get to that extreme where they just can't deal with whatever's going on, it's just so sad. And none of us here have the answer, and that's why it's so important to be close to our family and friends. And if we think anything's not right, and asking them, look, are you okay? It's okay to say something's not right or seek help. But a lot of times people are silent because they don't want you to know. So that's part of our series here. Well, we've got Matt Runnels from mindfulaustralia.org. We've got Mel Yu in Melbourne as well, and Troy Coward, who's Beacon Fight for Life, which he's very close to have that up and running, and Sam Webb as well. And it's just these small, and we're also got Kevin Hines coming on in the next couple of weeks, who wrote the book The Ripple Effect, and that documentary about his journey of jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge and his survival for that. So anything that we can bring here to at least help people go, look, there is help out there, and you've just got to seek it and try not to deal with it yourself. So your situation, Brendan, and yours, Doug, you just know that somewhere out there you're helping people see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you can deal with the circumstances in life, but you can't do it by yourself. You need a community around you, Gentlemen, it's time to go, and I really thank you, Brendan, for coming on today and sharing. And Doug, again, you're just an amazing young man who's, inspiring people. And Brendan, you too are inspiring people. And don't ever play small, mate. Play big, because you're a big energy,
No, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And I must tell you, Brendan, you're a great friend, and I believe in your potential.
No, thanks very much. Yeah.
You're not a waste of time or space to the world. You have potential.
Yeah, I think people just have to find their purpose in life, and have good supportive friends or animals or whatever it is, and beliefs, or we have all different beliefs, and
we do.
Just have to find our way and what we think, and help
but we're all living
too.
on this planet together. We're all in the same neighborhood. We have different beliefs, and we respect that. Different beliefs, religions, what we eat, what we don't eat, like where we work, where we, the career paths we choose. Everyone has an individuality about them, but we're all still on the same planet. And hopefully, COVID's brought us together closer to really understand that we all get up in the morning, and we have to deal with what's going on around us, and community is very important, really, really important. All right, guys, I'm out.
Okay.
Thanks, Doug.
Sandy.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks, you.
Guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug.
Followers, I want to thank both people for appearing on the program. And we'll see you next time on Relentless and Unstoppable.